Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this Financing Your Fertility Treatment Journey. My name is Ana Perez. I'm the financial counselor here in the Encino office at HRC, and I'm joined by my colleague, Wendy Johnson, who's also a financial counselor at the HRC Fertility Center in Newport Beach.
Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm so excited to be here today and to be speaking with our featured guest, AJ Rosenfeld from CapexMD, mainly because we get a ton of patient questions regarding this specific topic. So AJ, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So AJ, let's just get started. Can you kind of walk with us and give us like your input on what do our patients expect once they start their fertility journey and they reach out for financing their treatment and reaching out to you guys? Like what's the process?
Great question. So everything starts on our website. There's a lot of good information for your patients to take a look at as they are researching what to do, where to go to, especially if financing their treatment is definitely an issue. On the HRC website, they can select the option affording fertility treatment, which takes them down all the way to the bottom of the page. On the left-hand side, they will find CapexMD, lower left-hand side. From there, they can click Apply Online Now, which will take them to our 4-page application. It's a pretty straightforward application. The first page is about the patient and how much they're looking to borrow. That's an important number there because it allows for us to determine if they just need the cost for the treatment or if they are adding on other options such as medications or genetic testing. The second page is about them. The third page is about their spouse, and it's a pretty straightforward 4-page application. Once they've completed all 4 pages, one of our loan specialists will call them back no later than the next business day. We call absolutely everyone back. No one is automatically declined. That's something unique about CapexMD. We call everyone back no matter what their circumstances are. And then we'll talk to them about what we're seeing on the application, what they've entered. Perhaps they entered incorrect numbers. Things happen when you're online and you're anxious. So we go through the application with them as well as their credit information to figure out what their needs and timing are. It gives us a good understanding of what they really need and if they're urgent to move forward with a loan or if it's a bit of a delay, just really getting our hands around this. So the nice thing about Capex for you, Wendy and Anna, to know is that most of us, including myself, have gone through the fertility journey. And we try to make it as easy, as stress-free as we possibly can during their entire application process. For us to do a loan within a week is not even a challenge. So we typically only request some very basic information to finalize their loan. We communicate by email a lot so that everything is written out and the patient is fully aware of what the next steps are as they get to the next step. We have turned around a loan in 6 hours from beginning to end. So there's not a lot of companies out there that are able to do that. The other nice thing is that they don't have to worry about where to pay and how much to pay. Before we finalize the loan, we'll reach out to HRC, to you guys, and make sure that what we've set aside for the size of the loan is what your needs are. And if they qualify for medications and other things besides just the HRC costs, we are able to distribute those costs directly to the pharmacy, directly to the genetics lab, and directly to HRC because of our relationships with those providers. So it allows for the borrowers, the patients, not to worry about the little details of where things happen. Everything's taken care of ahead of schedule before they begin their treatment, knowing that they have a certainty of being able to move forward without delay.
That's great, AJ. Thank you so much. I'm actually curious, what can a patient be considering? What are the options regarding financing?
Well, there's a lot of different companies out there that say, hey, we can help with financing. It's really important to vet those companies. Obviously, HRC has done their due diligence in considering CapexMD all these years. making sure that we're a company you can back. And when you refer us to your patients, they know that HRC is recommending CapexMD because you've done your due diligence. A couple of very unique things about us versus anybody else out there when it comes to fertility financing. As I mentioned, a lot of us have our own experience. That's unique. The only thing we do is fertility financing. We do not do any other type of loan. We specialize in fertility only. So that's why for us, knowing the terminology and knowing the physicians and knowing the changes and what people need and why they need them is very straightforward for us because we're experts in the fertility side specifically for loans. The other thing you have to remember is check out the reviews. Make sure that it is a company that's reputable. There's not a lot of companies out there that are loans that can do a loan within a week. As I mentioned, we do that. You also have to be very careful. Some companies do a teaser rate, and that is a kind of a tricky thing where they get you hooked and then they switch things around on you because they haven't run the full credit. They kind of want to hook somebody in and then, ooh, surprise, the interest rate is actually higher. We don't do that. When we do a pre-approval for a borrower for your patients, when we give them a rate and we give them their terms, it is done. It is exactly what they're going to get from the beginning to end because we have that conversation with the patient, because we go through all the details. We don't automatically decide, yes, we're going to decline them and no, we're not going to decline them. We don't do automatic evaluations of somebody's personal situation. So there's a lot of things to worry about. Things like if you're going someplace else, do they have annual fees? Do they have origination fees? Do they have prepayment penalties? We do not have origination fees. We do not have annual fees. We do not have prepayment penalties. So those are the kinds of things to keep in mind. A big one for your patients is to keep in mind if they're dealing with a broker or if they're dealing with a portfolio lender, which is what we are. We manage our own loans, which means when we do a loan for someone, we will handle that loan beginning and end all the way through the term of their loan. Their information doesn't go anywhere. We're the ones that they call in case there's COVID-19 and there's a challenge with their paychecks and they're no longer working and they need to have some accommodation done for them. Or they've had a baby and there were complications and they're out of work for a short term. They call us. We work with them. With brokers, they sell that information, that loan to someone else, which means someone else has their confidential information. That means someone else out there knows that they've gone through fertility. One broker can actually sell that loan multiple times to other brokers, which means there's that much more information out there about a confidential situation that not everybody wants to share with the world. Really customer service focused is my biggest key. When somebody calls our 800 number, they'll talk to a loan specialist that's going to be handling loans. Any question they have about the application process or how we do the loan, they're going to be talking to the experts that actually do the loans. So it's really important to know that you're not going to call somebody who handles a dental loan or some other kind of loan. They're going to be talking to fertility specialists, experts, loan specialists. So that's really important. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I can mention, but we'll get to it if we need to.
AJ, why should our patients select CapexMD? What are the benefits with working with you guys?
Excellent question. Thank you, Anna. So there are lots of options out there. I would say the key is the company entirely focused on fertility loans? That is the key. We're the only company out there that actually only does fertility loans. Entire focus of ours is just to provide your patients with the best experience, a fast turnaround, personal attention. Sometimes that encouraging word of we were successful, we're going to, really go out there and hope the best for them. Sometimes hearing that positive reinforcement that they're in the right hands with HRC and they too can have that miracle baby is a great motivational thing for a lot of people who are going through this journey. Time sensitivity, as I mentioned, we can turn around a loan extremely fast. If somebody does need to have additional loans, let's say, We do not have a cap on how many loans, how many applications they can submit or have loans out there for within a year, let's say. If they qualify, they're welcome to apply and get another loan or a third loan, especially if they're continuing their journey and it's moving from an IVF to an FET and maybe hopefully another FET. So we do not have a restriction that you can only have one loan in a year. We don't do that. As long as they qualify, we're happy to lend to them and have them move forward with the treatment through HRC. The customization of our loans, anywhere from 6 months to 60 months, depending on the size of their loan, just to give them a more flexible monthly payment. Again, there's no prepayment penalties. They're welcome to pay off the loan as fast as they're comfortable, whether in full or just additional payments that all go to the principal of their loan. No annual fees, no origination fees. The loan is fixed. So the interest rates are actually fixed for the entire duration of their loan. They don't go up and down with variable the way some out there do. Highest of confidentiality, you're going to work with the same loan specialist every time you apply and work with that person that already kind of has a relationship with them. And if you need to be paid directly to the pharmacies, the labs, and other needs for your fertility journey, we can include it all in one loan. So that is always a really good option. The other great thing is we pay directly to HRC, which means they don't have to worry about it. They know the money is at HRC ready for their treatment to begin when they're ready to begin. And that's one less hassle for everybody.
Very true. Thank you so much today for spending time with us and going through all this amazing information. AJ, is there anything else you want to add that our patients should be looking for in their fertility financing? Where can they find this information out?
Sure. So again, our website, which is www.CapexMD.com, has a lot of various resources, as well as a calculator to help them kind of figure out where their payments might be. They can play around with the amount, the repayment terms, just to get them started and understanding what this is and what would be involved. Again, keep in mind the reputation of the company and the hand-holding, which is really needed at this time of their life, and somebody who understands what they're going through is at the utmost importance to us, and I'm sure to you guys, because you have to see these folks and want to help them along their journey as well. The unique thing with us is that we are able to allow for a loan for a friend or a family member that the borrower may not qualify for the loan. But if they would like to have a friend or a family member apply for them, the nice thing is we as a company are able to do that. And when we make the payment to HRC, it goes for the patient's treatment. We've actually had up to 3 groups of people, the patient and their spouse, parents, siblings, take out different size loans for one patient so that they can move forward with the full amount that they need for their treatment, which is very unique. Not a lot of companies would allow to do that.
Well, ladies, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, AJ, for sharing all this great information with us. It was great to learn all these things, and it's so helpful for us moving forward in the future with all our patients. Wendy, thank you for being online as well. We hope to work with you guys real soon and help a lot of people in their fertility journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.